Good day to each and everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second video for the subject of fundamentals of criminal investigation with intelligence. And this is a continuation of the first video presentation. Kaya kung hindi mo pa napapanood yung first video, it's better for you to watch the first video presentation so that you can understand this video. Okay. So the second video presentation for chapter 1 is about the statute that was passed in accordance with the provision of the Constitution. Okay. And of course, it is also in accordance with the criminal jurisprudence from the case of Ernesto Miranda versus the state of Arizona. So because of the mandate of the Constitution, which provides rights of the accused detained and under custodial investigation, the Congress have passed a law in accordance with the provision of the Constitution. And that law is none other than the Republic Act number 7438, which took effect in April 27 of 1992. Republic Act number 7438, ladies and gentlemen, is an act defining certain rights of person arrested, okay, kaka-aresto, detained, or under custodial investigation. As well as it also enumerates the duties of arresting officers, detaining officers, and investigating officers, and providing penalties for violation thereof. So para maiwasan yung pong violations ng mga ito, so kailangan ninyo bilang isang maging alagad ng batas, maging pulis, investigador, ay ito po ay napaka-importante ninyong malaman. Kaya po nilagay dito po sa unang bahagi itong subject ng fundamentals of criminal investigation. Okay? Ayan. So, under this law, any person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation shall at all times be assisted by counsel. So tatandaan ninyo, ang isang taong na-aresto, na-detain, or under custodial investigation ay may karapatan na i-assist ng kanyang abogado at all times, sabi doon. Hindi day-night, hindi nighttime, nang nakasaad po sa ating batas, RA number 7438, and this is also board examination question. Any person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation shall at all times, ang liwanag, sa lahat ng pagkakataon, should be assisted by his counsel. Okay? So that is provided under the law. Second right, any public officer or employee or anyone acting under his order or his place who arrests, detains, or investigate any person for commission of an offense shall inform the latter. Kapag aarestuhin mo, i-detain mo, kailangan i-inform mo yung pong aarestuhin mo, in the language known to and understood by him. Doon po sa lingwahe na kanyang naiintindihan of his right to remain silent and to have a competent and independent counsel. So ito po yung sinusunod ng ating kapulisan dito sa Pilipinas, mga kapangarap. Okay? Bakit sinabi kong kapangarap? Pangarap kong maging successful, maging criminologist, maging pulis, yun din ang pangarap ko para sa iyo. Okay? Yan, saludo ako sa magulang mo, kapatid. Okay? So tatandaan, pagka i-inform mo yung tao ng kanyang karapatan, kailangan doon po sa lingwahe na kanyang naiintindihan. Okay? Then, he have the right to counsel of his own choice, preferably na pili niya or sarili niyang pili, who shall at all times be allowed to confer privately with the person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation. Okay? So may karapatan din siya na makipag-usap doon po sa kanya abogado. If such person cannot afford the services of counsel, he must be provided with a competent and independent counsel. Okay? So kailangan po, pagka wala pong abogado, yung pong nahuli nyo, i-coordinate nyo doon po sa PAO, tinatawag na Public Attorney's Office. Diba? Para merong abogadong magtatanggol sa kanya doon po sa korte. So yun po yung pangalawang karapatan ng isang taong inaresto, na-detain, or under ng custodial investigation. Okay? Yan. Then we have third, no, the custodial investigation report shall be reduced to writing. So kung meron kang investigasyon, kailangan isulat mo, wag lang pong oral. Okay, kaya ang isang investigador abay dapat marunong gumawa ng report. Okay? So the custodial investigation report shall be reduced to writing by investigating officer, provided that before such report is signed or thumb marked, okay, siyempre, pagka yan po'y umamin, di ba? So kaya yan po ay kusa or kusang loob na umamin, so kailangan niya na yan po ay kanyang lagdaan, no? Lalagay yung signature. Or thumb mark if the person or arrested, detained does not know how to read and write. It shall be read and adequately explained to him by a counsel. Kailangan ipapaliwanag pa ng abogado niya kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng pong nakalagay doon po sa custodial investigation report, no? The assisting counsel provided by investigating officer in the language or dialect known to such as arrested person or detained person. So kung yung kanyang salita ay tuwali, yun yung kanyang naiintindihan, dapat inform mo yung kanyang karapatan doon po sa salita na yun. Okay? Yan. Then otherwise, such investigation report shall be null and void or no effect or whatsoever. Okay? So kung siya po ay nagbigay ng kanyang kusang salaysay, kailangan nakasulat, kailangan meron siyang signature, at noong nilagdaan niya yon, dapat andun po ang kanyang abogado. Okay? At ipinaliwanag sa kanya ng maayos kung ano ang ibig sabihin nun. So kung hindi mo alam nung salita o hindi mo alam yung salita ng tao na na-aresto mo, anong gagawin mo? Humanap ka ng interpreter para yung po yung magpaliwanag sa kanya, doon po sa kanyang karapatan. Okay? Then next, right, no? Any extrajudicial confession made by a person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation shall be in writing. Okay? So when you say extrajudicial confession, it is a confession which is done outside the court or outside the hearing, no? Outside the court, sabi nila, no? Tulad po nung pag-amin ng isang akusado doon po sa paggawa sa isang krimen. Okay? Yan. So it should be in the presence of his counselor or counsel in the latter's absence upon a valid waiver, and in the presence of parents, elder, brothers and sisters, his spouse, the municipal mayor, kung gusto niyang umamin, ano? So yung waiver, dapat meron pong mag-sign. Kahit kung wala yung abogado, pwede yung parents niya, elder brother, mas matandang kapatid, diba? Sister, yung kanyang asawa, legal po hindi po yung illegal, no? Municipal mayor, municipal, judge, no? District school supervisor, or pare, priest, no? Minister of gospel as chosen by him, or otherwise, such extrajudicial confession shall be inadmissible as evidence again in any proceeding. So kahit na umamin yung isang tao doon po sa police station, hindi naman naka-reduce sa writing, hindi po naisulat, at wala po siyang signature, walang lagda, at wala pong lagda yung pong mga witnesses, no? Or walang lagda yung abogado, wala yung abogado niya, tapos wala pa yung lagda or walang lagda yung parents niya, elders, no? Or any authorized person enumerated therein, okay? Ay baliwala po yung pong pagkumpisal or pangungumpisal ng tao na yun. Kahit umamin na siya doon sa krimen. Okay? So, ganun po ka-technical yung pong ating batas. Okay? So, napaka-importanting malaman ng isang magiging investigador or magiging pulis kagaya mo. Okay? So, let's proceed to the next one. Any waiver by a person arrested or detained under the provision of Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code of the Reglementary Period or under custodial investigation shall be in writing. and signed by such person in the presence of his counsel. Otherwise, the waiver shall be null and void and no effect. Okay? So, kahit umamin, no, kailangan sa pag-amin niya, mayroon pong signature yung abogado, yung kamag-anak. Pagka wala yung pong kamag-anak, pare, di ba? Pwede yun. Ngayon, kapag wala pong pirma or ladda, yung pong umamin, then parang papel, parang basura lang yung pong kanyang sworn statement. Tandaan niyo yan. Okay? At may sworn statement siya, at the same time, meron siyang waiver. Okay? Ibig sabihin, gusto niyang i-waive, no? Yung kanyang karapatan, gusto na niyang magsalita. Okay? Yan. Kaya wini-waive niya, ipinagsasawalang bahala niya yung kanyang karapatang manahimik dahil gusto niya magsalita. So, kailangan doon may waiver. Okay? Yan. Then next, any person arrested or detained or under custodial investigation shall be allowed visits by or conferences with member of his immediate family. Immediate, sabihin yung tatay niya, nanay niya, anak niya, yon immediate. Or any medical doctor or priest or religious minister chosen by him. So, hindi po pwedeng ipagbawal yung pagbisita doon po sa isang na-aresto or na-detain. No? Or any member of his immediate family or by his counsel or by any national government organization duly accredited by the Commission on Human Rights or by international non-government organization duly accredited by the Office of President. The person immediate family shall include his or her spouse, yung po'y asawa, fiancé, yan. Kasama naman po yung fiancé or fiancé, yan ano. Kung kanino ka engage, yan, parent or child, brother or sister, grandparent, grandchild, uncle, auntie, nephew, niece, guardian, or ward. Tandaan, pwede pong bisitahin yung pong isang taong na-aresto, hindi po pwedeng ipagbawal. Nakalagay po dyan, ano? Ayan. As used in this act, it shall also be noted, custodial investigation means, ito, napaka-technical. Okay? Custodial investigation shall include practice of issuing an invitation to a person who is investigated in connection with an offense he is suspected to have committed without prejudice to the liability of inviting officer or any violation of law. Tandaan, pag iniimbitahan mo ang isang tao, sinasabi mo sa kanya, iniimbitahan mo siya sa presinto para sagutin ang ilang katanungan tungkol sa paratang sa kanya, that is already the start of custodial investigation. Therefore, it is already your responsibility to inform the person of his rights, no? Rights against self-incrimination or right to remain in silent, right to have a competent and independent counsel, and right to be informed of the nature and the cause of accusation against him. Why? Because that is already the start of custodial investigation. Okay, yun po yung nakasaad sa ating batas, Republic Act number 7438. Okay, so napakaliwanag po niyan. Mas maliwanag pa sa araw kung walang init. Ayan, no? Okay, Section 4, the penalty clause. Ito, no? Para makita nyo na dapat pala pag nagpulis ako, hindi po basta-basta. Yes, sir. Tama, no? So any arresting public officer or employee or any investigating officer who fails to inform any person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation of his right to remain in silent and to have a competent and independent counsel, nakalimutan mong sabihin, hindi mo binasahan ng kanyang karapatan, shall suffer a fine of 6,000 pesos only, 6,000 pesos, no? Or a penalty of imprisonment of not less than 8 years but not more than 10 years for both. Pwede kang makulong at magbabayad ka pa ng fine or pwedeng fine lang or pwedeng kulong lang. Kasi or sabi naman, ano? Pwedeng dalawa or pwedeng kahit saan doon. Depende po sa korte na mag-i-impose dahil yan po'y criminal case na. The penalty of perpetual absolute disqualification, ibig sabihin, madidismiss ka ay hindi ka na pwedeng bumalik sa pagiging police or sa government office. No? Perpetual. Ibig sabihin, hanggang kamatayan. Buti pa ito may forever. Ano? Perpetuity. Okay? Perpetual. Ibig sabihin, hanggang mamatay ka na, hindi ka pwedeng maging empleyado ng gobyerno. Yun po, perpetual absolute disqualification shall be imposed upon investigating officer who has been previously convicted of similar offense. Okay, so kung na-convict ka na dati, hindi ka nag-inform o hindi mo in-inform yung tao ng kanyang karapatan, ayon po sa Miranda Doctrine at nakasaad din sa 7438, hindi mo in-inform yung tao ng kanyang karapatan, pwede kang magbayad ng 6,000 or pwede kang makulong ng hindi po bababa sa 8 taon hanggang 10 taon. Okay? So, that is the provision of the law. Okay? Kaya po, ito po yung inuna natin na i-discuss para sa ganon, no, makita nyo yung trabaho ng pulis na hindi po basta-basta. Okay? Kasi sa tingin ng iba, nakita nila yung pulis, no, gwapong tingnan, pag naka-uniforme, kahit pangit, gwapo na rin. Ha? Yan. So that you will have an idea, no? O, maraming career, pero mahirap din ang trabaho, especially mga investigators. Okay? Minsan nababaliktad, sila pa nakakasuhan. Diba? Yan. Ano pa? Okay, same penalties shall be imposed upon a public officer or employer or anyone acting upon the orders of investigating officer in his place who fails to provide competent and independent counsel to a person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation for commission of an offense if the latter cannot afford services to his own counsel. So nabanggit ko kanina yan. Sabi ko, no, kapag ka-pulis ka, walang abogado yung tao dahil yung tao ay may karapatan. Yung inaaresto mo may karapatan na magkaroon ng kanyang manananggol. Yung po'y abogado sa korte. At hindi niya kayang kumuha ng abogado, kukuha ka ng abogado, saan? Manggagaling mula po sa public attorney's office. Kasi nga hindi niya kayang magbayad para may magtanggol sa kanya. Pagka hindi ka po nakakuha ng kanyang abogado para magtatanggol sa kanya sa korte, pwede ka pong makulong ulit ng 8 taon hanggang 10 taon or magbayad ng danyos na 6,000 or both. Okay? Ayan. So, anong gagawin mo? Walang abogado, co-coordinate mo doon po sa abogado, bibigyan mo siya ng abogado. Di ba? So, ganun po katindi ang trabaho ng pulis. Okay? Ano pa? Any person who obstructs, prevents, or prohibit any lawyer, pinigilan mo yung abogado, no? Para ano? No? Abogado or any immediate family member of a person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation or medical doctor, pinigilan mo sila, ano? Dinelay mo sila para makausap yung pong akusado. Okay? So, a priest, religious minister chosen by him or by any member of immediate family or by his counsel from visiting, conferring privately with him, or from examining and treating him, from ministering spiritual needs, at any hour of the day, napakaliwanag, at any hour of the day, pwede silang bisitahin in urgent cases. Okay, in urgent cases, pero may mga visiting hours kasi naman ang ating BGMP, no? Of the night shall suffer the penalty of imprisonment of not less than 4 years, nor more than 6 years, and a fine of 4,000 pesos. Okay, so tatandaan, inobstruct mo, pinigilan mo yung pong pagbisita ng abogado or kamag-anak doon po sa inaresto mo at marunong sa batas yung pong inaresto mo, then pwede ka pong makulong ng 4 na taon hanggang 6 na taon at magbayad ng fine na 4,000 piso. Okay? The provision of the above section, notwithstanding any security officer with custodial responsibility over any detainee or prisoner may undertake such reasonable measures as may be necessary to secure his safety and prevent escape. So, pwede rin naman na may mga time, no? Kaya nga sabi ko, may rules kasi ang Bureau of Jail Management and Penology para sa safety din nila. Kaya yung anytime na yon ay at any hour of the day or night in urgent cases lang naman. Urgent. Okay? Ayan. Then, another law that is very important, no, to police officers that they should observe is Republic Act number 9745. Minsan kasi binabambo ng pulis yung pong isang taong iniimbestigahan para umamin. At ito po ay ipinagbabawal under Republic Act number 9745. Ano po yung batas na yan? It is an act penalizing torture and other cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment and prescribing penalties therefor. It shall be known as the Anti-Torture Act of 2009. That is the product of the case of Senior Inspector Binayog, no? Yan, or Chief Inspector Binayog case. Okay? Dahil sa pagtutorture niya sa isang tao para umamin lang. Kahit naman na hindi ikaw gumawa, kung papatayin ka naman na sa hirap, bay aamin talaga, di ba? So ano ang torture as defined under this law? Because the definition is very important, no? Para alam mo kung ano ang torture na binabanggit dito. At yan po ang bawal. Okay, pagka ikaw ay police, bawal mag-torture. Ano ang torture? Torture refers to any act or to an act by which severe pain or suffering, whether physical or mental, is intentionally inflicted. Kunwari, tinatadyakan mo, there is a severe pain or suffering. Tinalian mo yung titi, tinilian mo ng barbed wire, saka mo hihilain, ano? So that is torture. Yan. So either physical or mental torture. Okay? Intentionally inflicted on a person for such purposes as obtaining from him or her a third person information or confession. Punishing him or her for an act he or she or third person has committed or she is suspected to having committed. Or intimidating, coercing, tinatakot mo siya, no? O pinipilit mo siya. Or a third person for any reason based on discrimination of any kind when such pain or suffering is inflicted by or at the instigation of or with the consent or acquiescences of a person in authority or agent of a person in authority. It does not include pain or buffering arising only from inherent or in an incidental to lawful sanctions. Okay? So kung pinapahirapan mo para paiminin mo, yan po ipinagbabawal sa RA number 9745. Bawal pong mag-torture para lang paaminin ng isang tao sa kasalanan hindi naman niya ginawa at ginawa ito ng ibang tao. Okay? Dahil gusto mo lang ma-promote para magkaroon ng report. Huwag yung gagawin niya. Okay? Ayan. Then, B, other cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment refers to deliberate and aggravated treatment or punishment not enumerated under Section 4 of this Act, inflicted by a person in authority or agent of a person in authority against a person under his or her custody, which attains a level of severity causing suffering, gross humiliation, debasement to the latter. Example po ay kinuputya-putya mo, ang pangit-pangit, no? And degrading, nakakababa ng pagkatao, yan, hindi makatao, yan, ginagawa mo, hindi mo naman tinutorture, hindi mo sinasaktan, pero for example po ay dalawa silang preso, pinagpapasubo mo yung dalawang ari nila, that is not humane, that is inhumane, no? Hindi makatao, makababoy po yun, no? Yan. So, sino naman ang victim dito? Victim refers to a person subjected to torture or other cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment as defined above. Kahit suspect, may karapatan. Tandaan nyo yun. Wala kayong karapatan na siya po ay saktan, na siya po ay torture. A victim refers to a person subjected to torture. Sila yung biktima kahit na meron silang kaso. Di ba? Biktima yung na-torture. No? Any individual who suffered from harm as a result of any act of torture or other cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment. Okay? Yan. So kahit suspect yan, tinorture mo, sila ang victim under ng RA number 9745, ikaw ang magiging suspect who violated RA number 9745. Pag natanggal ka sa serbisyo, di ba? Ay hindi ka pa makakatanggap ng benefits dahil po sa iyong kaso. Ang hirap, no? Ayan. Susunod, order of battle refers to any document or determination made by the military, police, or any law enforcement agency of the government listing the names of person and organization that it perceives to be enemies of the state and that it considered as legitimate targets as combatants that it could deal with through the use of means allowed by domestic and international law. Okay, so yung pong order of battle, sabi niya, no? Doon pa lang makikita mo dokumento para makita mo kung sino-sino ang miyembro ng kalabang organisasyon. Example, organizational structure ng mga nice people around or NPA, ABF group, that is order of battle. No? Ayan. So, ano pa yung mga batas na importante no, para sa karapatan ng mga akusado or biktima? No? We have also Republic Act number 9344. Okay, ito naman yung pong batas na nagbibigay karapatan sa mga child in conflict with the law. No? Ayan. So, it is an act establishing a comprehensive juvenile justice. Ang mga bata, less than 18 years old, hindi po sila tinatawag na criminal, gano'n, no? Ang tawag sa kanya, juvenile offenders. Okay? So, an act establishing a comprehensive juvenile justice and welfare system, creating Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council, no, or the JJWC under Department of Justice, appropriating funds for and for other purposes. This act shall be known as Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. So lahat po ng akusadong juvenile, okay, those who are less than 18 years of age ay iba po ang treatment. Hindi pwedeng pusasan unless kung masyadong agresibo, mas malaki dun sa aresto, gano'n, no? Ayan, kasi considered sila as children. Dati CICL, Child in Conflict with the Law, ginawang juvenile offenders. Di ba? It shall cover the different stages involving children at risk and children in conflict with the law. Those who committed the crime are called the CICL or children in conflict with the law, from prevention to rehabilitation and reintegration. So the process, no, that is being made for juvenile offenders is different from adult offenders. Okay? Ayan po, yung diferensya. Kaya po nabanggit yung po Republic Act number 9344 dito. Kaya meron po yung Women's and Children's Protection Desk na kung tawagin. Dahil dito, sa provision ng Republic Act number 9344 providing for different treatment for those juvenile offenders. Kaya kapag bata at babae ang sangkot, i-refer po agad ng mga pulis doon po sa Women's and Children's Protection Desk or WCPD. Okay? Yan. We have also Republic Act number 10353. It is an act defining and penalizing enforced or involuntary disappearance. Ito'y bago kasi kapag meron pong kumukontra pang politika, biglang nawawala, kinikidnap. That's why inaigting po ang programa laban doon, no? Kaya naipasa ang Republic Act number 10353. It defined and penalized enforced or involuntary disappearance. The act shall be known as Anti-Enforced or Involuntary Disappearance Act of 2012. Di ba? Nagbibigay karapatan sa mga akusado. Kahit akusado yan, hindi pwedeng basta-basta na lang mawala. No? Nasa loob ng kulungan, bigla-biglang nawawala. Yeah. So, hindi po pwede yan. Okay? So, ano naman yung pong mga karapatan pantao na diniklara ng United Nations Convention on Human Rights as a universal rule. No? United Nations na po ang nag-convene niya or nag-produce niyan. Okay? Kung saan nasasabi natin na dyan naka-pattern yung pong mga karapatang pantao, no, ng bawat mamamayan. Diba? In different parts of the world. Okay? So, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard for the achievement for all people and all nations sa lahat ng bansa para maging standard po yan. Okay? Kasi ang ating bansa ay kasama po sa United Nations. To the end that every individual and every organ of the society keeping declaration constantly in mind shall strive by teaching education to promote respect and these rights and freedoms and by progressive measures. So national and international to secure the universal and effective recognition. Kaya kung makikita nyo, kapag may mga violation laban sa mga tao, nakikialam po dito ang United Nations Human Rights. Okay? And because they are the one who declared the United Nations Convention on Human Rights, which is binding all the members of the United Nations to follow the universally declared rights of human around the world. Tatandaan nyo yan, no? So, member states, ibig sabihin, membro ng United Nations, no? And among the people of territories under their jurisdiction, there are at least 30 articles enumerated rights, but following are the most important to be considered in investigation. So, hindi ko po sinali lahat. You can check that in your notes or you can search that, United Nations Convention on Human Rights. Okay, so ano yung mga karapatan na inuna ko? No? All human beings are born free and equal in dignity. Parehas po tayo ng dignidad at karapatan, ano man ang iyong kulay. Diba? So they shall be given or endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in spirit of brotherhood. Okay, so all of us have different race, no? Different pedigree, but we have similarities based on freedom, equal dignity, and rights. We are the same. Okay, bawal pong discrepancy. Diba? Article 2 provide that everyone is entitled to all rights and freedoms set forth in the Declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex. Diba? Kaya kahit na anuman ang kanyang kasarian, anuman ang kanyang lahi, okay? Yung ating batas ay applicable din sa kanila kahit ibang lahi pumunta sa ating bansa. Applicable din, no? So, regardless of race, color, language, religion, political, and opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status, furthermore, no distinction shall be made on basis of political, jurisdictional, and international status of the country and territory to which person belongs, whether it independent, trust, and self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Okay? So, lahat po ng tao ay meron pong karapatan. At meron po tayong kalayaan na nandito sa United Nations Declaration of Human Rights or United Nations Convention on Human Rights. So Article 3 provides everyone has the right to life. Di pareha sa Section 1 ng Article 3 natin, di ba? So everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person to be secured. Kahit saan ka pumunta sa iyong katauhan. Wala silang karapatang kunin ang iyong buhay. Wala silang karapatan na kunin ang iyong kalayaan. Diba? So everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Article 4 provides that no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Wala dapat sino man ang maging alipin ng ibang tao or slave trade, yung pong ipagbibili ka doon po sa ibang tao. Na uso noon po ito. Okay? Yan, uso po yan noon. Yung pong galley slavery. Kaya nga po dumami ang mga negro sa US dahil sila ikinalakal na Spain papunta sa US, binenta sila doon. Okay? Ngayon, pinagbabawal po dito sa United Nations Convention on Human Rights. Article 5 provides no one shall be subjected to torture. Sa UN, meron yan. Sa ating batas, sa Pilipinas, meron din yan. So no one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhumane, degrading treatment or punishment. Okay? Then we have defined that a while back, kung ano ang torture, physical or psychological torture. Bawal yun, So Article 6, everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. So, tayo po ay may karapatan na ma-recognize bilang tao, anuman ang iyong anyo, anuman ang iyong itsura, pangit ka man, gwapo ako, abay, meron kang karapatang ma-recognize. Okay? Ayan. So Article 7, all are equal before the law. Kaya pag nagpatupad kayo ng batas, lahat pantay. Walang mahirap, walang mayaman, walang pandak, walang matangkad, diba? Walang sexy, walang tabatsoy. Pareha dyan, pantay. All are entitled to equal protection against discrimination in violation of the Declaration, against any incitement to such discrimination. So wala pong diskriminasyon dapat, pantay-pantay ang tingin mo, lalo na pagka ikaw po ay nagpapatupad ng batas. Article 8. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted by the Constitution or by the law. Okay, so lahat ay meron pong karapatan, no, na magkaroon ng effective remedy. Okay? Para sa ganon ay mai-report yung pong nag-aabuso laban dito po sa ating mga primary or fundamental rights na nasa Constitution. Article 9, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest. Ibig sabihin, arestuhin ka nang wala namang basehan. Di ba? Yan. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na warrantless arrest circumstances, but there should be a basis. No? Wala dapat din i-detain ang wala namang kasalanan at walang due process. Ganun din ang exile. Yan. So, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, arbitrary detention. Ikukulong ka na kung saan wala kang kasalanan naman. Ikukulong ka na kung saan lagpas na doon po sa reglementary period. Bawal po yan. Article 10 provides that everyone is entitled to full equality of their fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal. Meron kang karapatang dinggin, no, or magkaroon ng patas na paglilitis pagka ikaw ay kinasuhan. Diba? In the determination of his rights and obligation and in any criminal charge against him. So meron kang karapatan na magkaroon ng patas na paglilitis. Article 11 provides that everyone charged with penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty according to the law in public trial, at which he has had all guarantees necessary for his defense. So nakikita niyo ang treatment sa isang taong inaaresto ng pulis, those persons are considered innocent. Okay? Innocent. Matandaan, ang akusado, ang naaresto, yung suspect, diba? Suspect, pagka naaresto ng pulis, pagka nasampahan sa prosecutor's office, respondent. Pag nasa korte na nasampahan ng kaso, accused. He is considered innocent until proven guilty. According to the law in a public trial, he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. Okay? Then no one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense. Wala namang batas na nagbabawal doon, pero siya po ay convicted. Hindi po pwede yun. Di ba? So, sabi nga natin, there should be no ex post facto law that should be passed based on our Article 3 Bill of Rights ng ating 1987 Philippine Constitution under national or international law at time when it was committed. Sabihin, di ba? In-explain ko yan kanina na ang ating batas, prospective pa abante, wala po dapat ex post facto law or yung retroactive effect unless it is in favor of the accused. Okay? Article 12 provides that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, correspondence, nor attacks upon his honor or reputation. Okay? Walang sino man dapat ang basta-basta na lang i-interfere yung kanyang pribadong buhay, yung kanyang pamilya, di ba? So everyone has the right to the protection of law against such interference. Okay? So meron po tayong right to privacy and correspondence or communication and correspondence saan po sa ating Constitution. This is in accordance with Article 12 of the UN Convention on Human Rights. Article 13 provides that everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence. Ito po yung right to abode, no? Within the borders of each state. Everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and return to his country. All right, to abode and travel po yan, ano? Sa ating Constitution. Article 14 provides that everyone has the right to seek and enjoy in other countries asylum from persecution, if any. This right may be invoked in the case of prosecution genuinely arising from non-political crimes or from acts contrary to purposes and principle of United Nations. Okay? Then, on the next video presentation, we will talk about the welfares of the victims. Ayan. So we will talk about RA number 7610 and other laws pertaining to the welfare naman ng biktima. Para hindi naman sabihin na victims are the forgotten party in the commission of crime. So pag-uusapan po natin yon, ano yung treatment naman sa biktima, ano yung pong mga entitlement na dapat makuha ng victim. Okay, so we have already discussed the rights of the person, no? Arrested, detained, and under custodial investigation. And we have also discussed the different laws governing the rights, no, of a person detained and under custodial investigation, as well as the penalties if those rights are violated. So see you on the next video presentation. Maraming salamat muli sa inyong pagkinig at panonood, and I hope that you have learned something from the short video presentation. So if you have learned something, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button. Hit also that you will be updated about the succeeding videos. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.